Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I just wanted to show you a gift that I got before I get started this morning. Look at RJ and Fern. Okay, see this crocheted doily under here? This was a gift to me from Tony DeBarnard. Oh, Tony, forgive me. DeBernardo. Am I saying it right? DeBernardo. Anyway, Tony is a watcher of our videos here on YouTube, and she hand crocheted that and sent it to me. And this one over here on this table, she hand crocheted that. Isn't that amazing? Somebody that can count and keep track of all those stitches is just amazing to me. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you, Tony, and show you that. And now I will sit back up on the stand, on my new stand that I just built today. Maybe I should show you. I moved my workstation over here to the other side of the room. Yes, I'm not going to do a studio tour because I'm 89.3% sure that you guys are tired of me moving my studio around. But I moved it over here, and I had to have something to put my phone on. So I went out in the burn pile and got these strips of wood. I didn't even have one long enough, so I had to screw two of them together. And then I had to screw two down here so that I can just lay my phone across it. Yeah, I did that because my other setup that I have, well, let me show you. It's not completely clean over here because I just found these candles in my barn sale and decided I wanted them. This was my other setup that I had screwed to the ceiling over here. But when I moved my sewing area over here where my old workstation was, I thought, I think I'm just going to leave it so that I can video myself sewing sometimes. So that's why I needed another one. Okay, here we are. I wanted to show you the items that I did. Oh, yeah, let me get the ladies. Okay, I'm going to show you up until the point where I need that lady's name. And I don't remember her name, and I'm going to have to find it. So, okay, let's just start here. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to start. Our first class that we did was from the one and only Rosemary Morris. Yes, you all know her. She is our YouTube queen, especially the queen of dyeing. She showed us how to use natural items such as rhubarb. She used four different dyes that she let us experiment. And once we got our dye, like this one here, under all of this is rhubarb. Oh man, I'm not really set up for this. I've got so much stuff sitting on top of my rhubarb. Okay, so all of these items here are actually rhubarb. Now, the first one is just natural rhubarb. The second one is rhubarb with ferrous, is that how you say it? Ferrous sulfate. And then there's some with alum, and there's some with soda ash. So we would add a little bit of each component to the dye to see what different colors it would bring us. So these were my scientific experiment results. This one, and then we have cochinella bug. Whoops, my alums have slid over. This is a cochinella bug that brought some really beautiful colors, each one with the different component that I added to it. And I'm going to be making clusters out of these, is what I've decided. And then I stopped, here's one logwood. These were my findings with logwood, with regular ferrous sulfate, soda ash, and alum. And then this one was, I don't remember because I just started getting excited and started not writing things down and just started mixing and matching and got a little crazy and just started grabbing everything and dyeing it. And, oh, what would happen if we mixed them all together? And we just got crazy. We went into mad scientist mode. And so that's what these last two are. So that was my Rosemary Morris class. At Createville. I'm sorry. I went to Createville, hosted by Shannon Green. I miss Shannon Green. And she had 4 teachers there. The first was Rosemary Morris with natural dyeing. It was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I had an absolute blast. And then let me get my next one set up. Okay, our next class was from the lady who owns the Little Mountain Bindery, and she showed us how to do the buttonhole binding. Okay, this is not perfect, but it's what I made. It's my first one. It was a real leather cover, and it has little signatures in it. These are my little scraps that she gave us to use on each page that I've got stuck in here. It has 6 signatures. And they're sewn in with using this buttonhole binding technique. So that was really fun. Very difficult for me to do. I have not trimmed it off yet because I don't know if I want to. I think I may sew, I just don't know. I don't know if I want to cut it off yet or not. I haven't decided. I wanted to wait to see how fat it got once I added mixed media, and it might kind of shrink him in with little trims and yada yada on the outside. So I did not trim mine off. So that was our second class. I don't know. Oh, I know. I put an extra long string on here because I wanted to add some beads to the end of my string. So there's that one. Then we had Jailbirds, taught by Donna Joy. And I do not have anything done in my book yet. I have all the pictures and everything I need to put this pages together, but all I had time to do, because I am kind of a gabber, was build the book. And I enjoyed this ring binding. So it was fun learning how to do that. And she gave us these fantastic jelly prints of hers. I got started. I had time to get started on one page, but I have not finished it. She had these wonderful gel prints that she made that we were able, I used the wrapping paper that our items came wrapped in because it looked like jail bars. But these, her prints are just beautiful. And so that was fun. And that was taught by Donna Joy, Jailbirds. It was really, every class was completely enjoyable. Then the last class, but certainly not least, was taught by the wonderful artist Stacy Spangler. I don't know if you've seen her YouTube videos. If you have not, you need to jump over and check out Stacy Spangler. She does the cutest little whimsical flowers that she taught us how to do. And then you cut them out. You make them out of scrap paper. And then you cut them out. You do different shaped leaves or greenery or whatever you want. And then you place them on your substrate. We had board, I don't know what you call it, board canvas that we placed them on. And And I don't like that mine is really white, so I really want to fix that right now before we go any farther. That was fun to learn how to do with Stacy Spangler. And I had an absolute blast. Absolute blast. Now, I want to add some Stabilo to this, the edges of this, because that white is just making me crazy. You know what? Since I have blue Stabilo and I don't really know what to do with it, let's do the edges in blue. What the heck? I just wanted to change up some of this white. It's just too much for me. So let's just add this. I accidentally bought these blue Stabilos instead of black long time ago, and they just sit over here and never ever get used. So let's just use them on this. But I just wanted to show you guys what I did. That was last weekend. Then this last week, by the time I got home and got the camper unloaded, and it was supposed to rain at the end of the week, in which it did. We got 3.5 inches the first time. We got 3 inches last night in a little over an hour and a half. I really got a lot down there. So I wanted to get the yard mowed and all that good stuff. There, that looks better, doesn't it? Just to knock that white a little bit. So, let me get set up for what I want to do today, and then we'll visit. Okay, I think I'm ready. I was watching a lady this morning. I actually needed to make clusters, and I was watching this lady, you know, squirrel ran across this lady and started watching her, and she was just doing backgrounds. And I thought, you know what, that would be a great idea to do on my cowboy journal. So I decided to do a couple backgrounds with you today, and then move on to my clusters, because I've got so much stuff that whether I need clusters or not, I really need to make clusters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own texture paste here out of some heavy gesso, and I'm going to add some baby powder to it just to make it a little drier so it won't take so long to dry. I act like I do this all the time. I do not. I've only done this a few times, but I see people make their own stuff, and you know, I just came from Rosemary Morris's class where we were allowed to be scientists. So here we go. That's really getting dry. We're going to use it though. It looks as dry as that stuff that Tim Holtz grunge paste. So maybe this is great. This is a great deal. Okay, now I want to also use up this crackle stuff I found while cleaning out my art room. I want to start using that and getting rid of it. I want to find a good page to do my first background on. Right here. Here's one. So what she did was she took her inks and she did just some inking first. So let's just get some, I don't know why I look at the color of the lid, because none of these have the correct ink in them. It's just whatever ink I have handy to re-ink it with. Okay, so she put some stenciling down first. And it's pretty dry. I need to re-ink that. Making me get a workout today. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go on down. Remember, we're just adding layers. Now I have to stand clear up to see if I'm in. Oh, yeah. I could actually come in closer. There we go. Remember, we're just adding layers, okay? Some of this is going to get covered up. Let's do it over here in the bottom. I'm going to flip this around so it's not just exactly the same print, that it appears to be different. So I don't know if you guys checked out my video of my trip down there, but I didn't even get my first day videoing anything with Rosemary Morris or the bindery. I was just so nervous, you know, about going down there by myself. First of all, pulling my vintage camper all that way alone, and which I don't know why. I was a member of the Sisters on the Fly and traveled all over camping with them for 9 years. But I was just had anxiety. And then to meet new people that I didn't know, it was just really scary. Scary. It was scary. But I did, and it was fun, and I met two wonderful girls, Jan and Sherry. Sherry is actually, she watches me on here. It was so funny because I wore the outfit that I had on at my, at that concert I went to with my daughter that I had found at a flea market. I had that same outfit on, and I walked in the door, and this lady goes, "Birdie, you wore your coat, your outfit." I'm like, what? Who knows me here? And this lady, her name was Sherry, she said, "I watch you." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I immediately felt like I had a friend. Immediately. I said, "Come sit by me at the table at the meet and greet and everything." And it was just like, you know, I already knew her since she's one of my people. Her friend Jan was with her, who turned out to be a wonderful person. I was kind of scared because Jan was cranky. I think Jan was a little cranky. Jan, you'll have to admit it. Jan had just gotten done driving all that way from Texas. All the way. Wait, no, it wasn't Texas. They came from Georgia, didn't you, Sherry? Yeah, I think they came from Georgia. And they just drove all that way that day. So Jan she had been rode hard and put up wet, bless her heart. She was wore out. So after I got to know Jan, I loved her. But that first day I was kind of scared because she looked like she was kind of cranky. She won't mind me saying that. She knows. So I felt like I had a friend right away in Sherry. And I did, because guess what? I prayed before I went down there. And I said, and so did Miss Moss. Miss Moss prayed for me too. And said, "Send me to the people that I needed to be with. And also let my light shine for him while I was down there." And sure enough, I got put at the table with Sherry and Jan, and that was wonderful. I knew God had put me with them. So that was awesome that the Lord sent those two girls into my life. And And I hope the other people around us could see Christ through us, because all we did was talk about God. It was so wonderful. I'm going to dry this. Okay, it's not completely dry, but it's scabbed over. So I went ahead and wiped off my stencil before that paste, dried too hard. And this says step 1, so it says to put it on first and let it dry. So I'm going to put this on. Okay, hold on now. I think I want to paint it first. I think I want to put some color on this first. So let's get a spray out over here. And remember, this is for my cowboy journal. But I really guess it doesn't matter, because I don't really have any what I would consider cowboy colors. So I'm going to shake this up real good because it's got gold in the bottom. So I'm going to spritz a little bit of that on there. And I want to do one other color. What's this? This is brown. No, that'll cover up my stencil. Although it would be cowboy, wouldn't it? Let's just spritz some purple on there, and let's get some water going and get some runnage going. I want to get it down here. There we go. Okay, so we've got, I dip my finger in the paste. And then let's get some runnage going over here. Can you guys see that, what I'm doing? Okay, let's dry that. Okay, one background done. Now, simple as that. I had to get it down on paper because I would have forgotten that I watched her. But as I was turning it over and drying both sides of the paper because it was wet, I noticed this side has a heart on it. So I want to make sure that's right side up. Normally I wouldn't care which way. But just a tip for you guys. Make sure you look at both sides so you know which end will be up when you start creating and put it in your book. But there is one. Ugh, it's still really wet, but I'm just going to lay it aside and let it dry today because this is all I'll need to do to it. So, one background for the Cowboy Journal done. So there we go. Let's put this aside and get stuff out and do a few clusters. No, I am not done because I wanted to put this crackle stuff on there. And I just forgot already. So I want to... So I want to paint some of this on. I don't know anything about crackle. So those of you out there who crackle, if you see me doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, I'm sorry. I don't know. And I'm too impatient to study and really learn about it. I just want to play. So I'm just going to smear this on there. And put it aside so it can be drying till it's clear, and then maybe it says the thicker the crackle, the bigger the cracks. So, but I'm just going to use what I've got spread out on here. Okay, we'll let that dry and we'll come back to it in a little bit. Okay. I just have so many scraps. Where's my little box? That I need to do something because things are, I'm getting carried away, carried off by everything. Okay, I should use some of my dyed stuff. All right, we'll set this over here. Okay, I think we're ready. Now, how do I want to remember how she did it? Okay, I want to use, see, I've been cutting my threads when I'm slow stitching, so I want to use some of those, but I've chopped some of them up because I want to use them for stuffing, so I got to make sure I get the long ones. Okay, here we go. Let me get my glue over here. All right. It's like so long in between times that I do clusters that I have to learn all over again how I did them. So I went on YouTube and just watched a cluster video just to get some inspiration. I'm going to sew through them. I'm thinking maybe I could just staple them together and then sew a line up one side. I just want to do like a zigzag down it. So I'm just going to put several of these together to make my base. It's going to probably kind of look like a star at first, but I don't care because I'm just wanting to get my little base. And then I want to put a piece of material on there. And then I want to put a piece of doily on there. And I want a sticker. Let me get a stick. Let me get a sheet of stickers. I decided no on the stickers because they're all tucked away nicely in their little file cabinet. And I have this drawer of stuff, just tiny little ephemera stuff that I'm wanting to get rid of. So I've decided I'm going to use that stuff so that I can use it up. I'm going to tear off one of these little, I don't know what these are, but I'm going to use one. And I'm just going to start grabbing whatever to use it up. And this. Okay, so I'm going to staple this together. And I'm going to go over and sew it, and I'll be right back. And we'll see how my first cluster looks, and then we will put the rest of them together and staple them, and I can sew them another time. Okay, now it's a little boring, so I want to just add a little bit of color because it's boring. And I've got those chalk pastels over there, or whatever kind of pastels they are, all kinds of different kinds. And I want to start using that stuff. So everything I do, I'm just going to, reach over there and put a smidgen. And it needs some sparkle gold on here, so I just put a little bit of gold on there. So there we go. One cluster down. Let's do some more. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk while we're doing it. Is this a sticker or what is this? Oh, something I just had glued together. Okay, let's just do several at a time. see how that turns out. This is kind of cowboyish. I use this in my cowboy journal, so maybe that'll, hey, look here, we'll use that little piece on that. This is gonna give me a workout, getting up and down, seeing if I'm in frame. I'm gonna have to draw me a square to make sure I stay where I need to. It's a piece of pattern paper. So anyway, I got to my campground when I went down to Createville. It looked good. It looked good on the internet. It ended up being down in the commercial side of town. I noticed there was a homeless shelter down there. And I was in the back yard of a big, like, factory. And I noticed that I was the only girl in the campground. All of the other people were like, they looked like maybe they were like contract workers that, you know, go around in their RV and workplaces, stuff like that. That's what it appeared to be. So the first day I was getting ready to leave, and the little not homeless, but the little camper guy next to me, who looked like he was real shaggy and, you know, didn't look like he had bathed and had to ride a bike everywhere. And he walked over in front of my car with the guy on the other side of me. And the other guy just simply walked over and shook his hand and exchanged something in their hands. And he turned around and walked back, and the other guy put his hand in his pocket. So I'm pretty sure that I witnessed a drug deal, which made me scared because, you know, I'm in this little camper with 1x2 studs in the walls, and my door only locks when you're on the inside. And, you know, I'm the only girl there, and it was scary. So I was telling Jan and Sherry about it while we were arting. And the second day, Sherry said, "Have you ever heard of this app?" I'm going to get the name of it. I'm going to shut this video off and get the name of it so I can tell you, because somebody out there may need this app. Let's go ahead and finish these, and then I'll stop and get the app. The name of the app. I'm telling you, you guys, my brain is so... I just don't remember anything anymore. It's hard to believe that I used to run my own coffee shop and my own tea room. It's just hard to believe I was even capable of doing that when you know me now and know what a ditzy doodah I am. But anyway, I guess it comes with getting old, right? My mom used to say getting old ain't for sissies. Now, let's put some more of these. Let's just keep using these little things up. And I thought I saw a stamp over here floating around. Maybe I didn't. It's all right. Everything has to be used up. Okay. Let's staple these together. Okay, I'm going to get the name of that app. Okay, the name of the app is called Hidden in My Heart. Where am I at? I went ahead and sewed these. What's going on? Why is it not focusing in? Okay, it's called Hidden in My Heart, and it's lullabies to scripture. Okay? Let's go out to 1. Okay. Hidden in My Heart, and it's lullabies to scripture. So, Sherry said, why don't you, because I told him I was scared. I was scared to go to sleep because, you think you hear everything. You're by yourself. You have a weirdo living next to you. He sits out on his stoop and smokes his cigarette and stares at you when you're outside. Like, just literally, just stared at me. I didn't even feel good sitting out there, doing my art in my lawn chair because he just sat over there and stared at me. So, it was scary to go to sleep at night. Oh, that's so cute. So Sherry said, why don't you try, just listening to the lullabies. And I looked it up. I didn't want to download the app because it cost. You had to pay money to use it. And, I'm cheap. So I didn't want to pay for it. So I just looked it up on YouTube to see if maybe it was on there. And sure enough, it's on YouTube. So I looked it up and I played it the next night, which was my last night. And I said, Lord, I know you've protected me so far. Just get me through one more night. And, sometimes, okay, this is my philosophy, okay? This is Bertie's sermon for the day. When God says he's going to take care of us, it doesn't always mean physically. It's spiritually. If you're saved and have Christ in your heart, he is going to take care of you. Because you know what? I said, Lord, that man could break in my camper, cut me up, and pickle me. And I would still love you because guess what? I'm going to heaven immediately. The second he takes me out, I'm going to heaven. So the Lord has taken care of me. Though it may have been in a brutal way, our ultimate goal is to end up with forever life in heaven. So we can't always say, I want pure gloriousness here on earth because we're probably not going to have it. We're only passing through this world to do our job, to tell others about Christ and to get them saved so they can have eternal life also. So I said, just help me to sleep good tonight. So I plugged in my little YouTube into my ear. Where's my book? I got to read to you. I want to read to you what the song said. Okay. Hello. Focus in. I don't know why when you try to zoom in, the focus goes away. So anyway, here we are down at this. So the first song I plugged into my ears, she's singing, okay? Because what it is they sing scripture in a soft, soothing lullaby manner. Those lullabies you turn on at night to go to sleep to. It's like that, only they're singing scripture. It says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I'm here. I'm your God, I'm here. And I looked that up, and it's Isaiah 41:10. And so she sings that, and some of the other scripture over and over and for like 4 minutes. And then it goes on to the next lullaby. And the next one says, "Be still, my soul, be still and know that he's my God. Rest quietly, rest in his loving arms, for he's watching over you." And that was Psalm 46:10. So I'm just saying, people, there are worldly catastrophes going on in this world, and the Lord has time in his omnipresent way to take care of Birdie because she's scared in her camper. By the time that second lullaby was over, I was sound asleep. I immediately felt the presence of God and that I was okay, and to just lay there and go to sleep and worrying about everything. And I did, and it was wonderful. So anyway, that's my little praise for this weekend. We need something here, don't we? We need something. We need a little something, something. What's in this bag? What are these? Oh, hey. There's a bag of butterflies that needs to be used up. Let's use one of those. Maybe this yellow one here. Okay. Got all kinds of stuff we can use in this little box. So I had a wonderful weekend. The Lord took care of me all the way down with my car. I had to take my Jeep because my truck it's just on its last leg. And my husband said, just drive it till it drops and we'll crush it. Because it was a $100 truck that, he traded $100 golf cart for, and we didn't think it'd last very long, but he thought he could for sure get more than that out of it at the crusher. So I've been driving it for almost 4 years waiting for it to die so we could take it to the crusher. But it does act up, and I did not want to pull my camper down there, so I used my Jeep. And you know what? My Jeep really does not have a big enough whatever it needs to tow. So it struggled a little bit, especially in the Kansas wind. I struggled with it, but it got me down there and back, and the Lord got me down there and back. And I had a great time. I came home very satisfied with my decision to sell my camper, my itty bitty, at my next barn sale. I'm going to sit it out there for sale. I don't like the anxiety. We don't have a vehicle. This Jeep that I drive, my little Cherokee, my little Sherry, I named her Sherry Key Chief. She's going to be our forever car, and I don't want to put stress on it for, I don't want to put stress on it by pulling things that shouldn't be pulled. So if I want to go somewhere camping, and I don't think I will by myself anymore, because I'm just getting to where I don't like to camp by myself anymore. I just don't. So if I want to go camping, and if somebody will go with me, I'll take the bus. My husband goes with me. But if I wanted a girl trip, I just take the bus, and whoever goes can stay in the bus with me. My baby camper days are done. And I feel good about it. I'm okay. I'm at that stage where it's okay. I could use the money, and there's just other things to do. Know what I mean, Jane? I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about this getting you close enough and all that good jazz. I don't know. You'd think I would figure all this out after all the years I've been doing this, and I haven't. I need another piece of paper. Let's see here. Let's put one of these on there. Oh, let's put some of this on the back, on there. Okay. Now, let's take one of these and put it on there. And what else do we have over here? Let's cut this up. What a sweetheart. Rosemary Morris, I don't know how she recognized me. I don't know that she watches my videos. But she knew who I was, and I'm like, you know, kind of, I had that look in my face that I had no clue who she was, and she said, I'm Rosemary, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had never seen Rosemary's face. Then when she started talking, I knew who she was. You know, everybody knows Rosemary's voice, but I had never seen her before. So it was exciting. Yeah, I had a good time. What if I put one of these behind? What would that look like? That's fine. A little sticking out right here. Now we're going to have to put something in the center of that. And I still haven't got any string. We'll use up this string. Would we put that on top or underneath? I'm just going to put one of each and see what happens. That's quite a... Put that on there like that. Put this one down there. That one right there. Okay. I'll glue something on there after. Like a little rhinestone or something in the center of that flower, because it's kind of boring like that. But when these little clusters are put, you know, up in the corner or whatever of a page, it just adds to it. You may think they're boring to begin with, but once you add them, they just add a little something, something. Or sticking off like a little tab. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, how cute would this be? How cute would one of these be? Let's see if we can poke this through, because these flowers are just cork. Oh, if I can't... Okay, so what I'm going to do is... I'm going to grab my crocodile and I'm going to put it on the smallest puncher. And I'm going to punch a little hole in there. And I'm going to stick that in there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let's take another one. And let's see if we can stick it through this one. There we go. Look at that. Okay, we're on a roll. I've got to do the same to this one. And I mean, I'm using stuff up. That's exciting. That'll be a whole thing that won't have to go back in that box if I can use them up. Those brads are wimpy. I'll tell you that right now, because that's just cardstock, and I'm bending the brad in the back. There we go. Now, let's see here. What else can we find in here? Here's a little, let's glue this on this one, and let's glue this one on this one. These are those little cork flowers. And these might not need a sewing. I think they're fine just like that. Cute. Isn't it fun? I hope you guys are doing something with me. Okay, now, this thing keeps flying around my desk. So I just want to, I'm just going to make a little cluster on it. Just to get rid of the little tag. I don't have to find a place to put it. We'll just use it. And it'll be a little tag we can put on something, and it'll just be a little cluster. Isn't that brilliant? See what you can come up with when you have stuff that you just got to get rid of. Oh my gosh, you guys, listen. I've spent the past 3 days this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been out here rearranging this art room. My husband took off Friday and Monday, and we were going to go on a camping trip. But then when we seen that the weather was going to be bad, we decided to cancel it because it was supposed to rain where we were going all the days we were gone. And I'm so glad that we did cancel it, because there ended up to be a tornado up there. We've had tornadoes everywhere, and please pray for the people in Oklahoma. Oh my goodness. They have just been riddled with storms. So I spent all those days out here playing in the art room and moving stuff, getting rid of stuff. For 3 days, my trash barrel burned. 3 days I was burning. I wanted to get rid of this old freezer and this refrigerator that was in my room and in my art room, and replace it, because I was using them to store stuff. And I wanted to replace it with these 2 cabinets that I had gotten at an estate sale clean out and for the barn sale. And I thought, oh, I could use those in my art room. So I opened up the freezer. It was a chest freezer, and looked in it, and it was absolutely full to the brim with sheet music. And so I said, Bertie, you didn't even know this sheet music was in here. You have 3 drawers over here in a cubby full of sheet music. Get rid of that sheet music. So I allowed myself 1 storage tote, and the rest of it I burned. And I burnt not old good books, but ones with shiny pages that I didn't want. I burnt magazines. I had an entire trash bag of blue jeans. I don't know. I don't know why. I thought I needed an entire trash bag full. So I burnt blue jeans. I kept a few for journal covers, and I burnt blue jeans. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Now this could almost be a small pocket, couldn't it? So let's cluster this up, and this will be a good pocket. So yeah, I really got rid of stuff. And feels good. Oh my goodness, it feels good. What we got here? Let's see what we can tear this thing apart and turn it into a pocket. There we go. Easy breezy. We are getting rid of stuff. Some of this stuff was just stuffed away, and I thought, you know what? It's got to be out here where I can see it so that I can, you know, get rid of it. I've got to visualize it. So that's my goal. Now, what I'll do is I will sew around the edges. I might just sew it on a page, and that'll be a ready-made pocket. Okay, how long have we been going here? I just wanted to let you guys know I'm still alive. We've been going 22 minutes. That ain't nothing, is it? That ain't nothing. Let's play a little more. Oh, I want to show you what Miss Moss sent me. Oh my gosh. You guys, these are going somewhere special. Miss Moss at Moss Cottage, you cannot see the beauty in these leaves. Look at that coppery, shimmery color in that. I love it. These are just beautiful. I can't wait to put these in one of my private journals. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Thank you, Helen. They are adorable. Maybe, you know what? Helen made some cute whimsical flowers today. Let's make some. Let's put this stuff up. Let's see a squirrel. I can do clusters and later on. Let me just push this to the side and I'll use it later. Let's make one of Miss Moss's whimsical flowers. Okay, here we go. I've got to move my cord. I've got my phone plugged in and I don't want it wiggling everything. Let me get y'all set up here. And we're on. Okay, now, I was watching Miss Moss and she had these cute little whimsical flowers. Kind of look like these on her little thing she was doing. And I was like, dang, Moss, I wish you'd show us how you made those cute little flowers. So, darned if she didn't come on with a video and showed us how she did these little flowers. So I want to do these for you today. Let's do them together. Get your stuff out. Come on, come on. Let's get after it. I'm going to do it on this piece of paper. Let me zoom in a little farther since I... Okay, let's do it on this piece of paper. Let me draw a line so I know where to keep my paper at. Okay. Now, the first thing she did was she took some brown, and of course, you know, like true nature, when you watch somebody on YouTube do something, you come up with your own version. It becomes inspiration, and then everybody does it in a little different way, and then it becomes their way. She painted her little branches on there with a paintbrush. Well, I want mine a little more whimsical, so I got out my debit card, and my paper's kind of bumpy, so it's kind of making my little things fat. Anyway, I just used my debit card for mine. So let's see if we can't make these look a little skinnier. And of course, you know, when you do it the first time, it never looks like that again when you want to redo it. Moss's didn't look like hers the second time she did it. Mine are not looking like mine the second time I do it. Okay, good enough. Now, I'm going to dry this. Okay, you do kind of want that part dry because the next step, you know, you're going to smush over this. So you want it, let's see, how did she do this? Okay, she did it with pink. I don't like pink. So I did mine with orange, and you're supposed to do it with 2 different shades, like she did hers with light pink and dark pink. Jump over to Moss Cottage and watch her video if you wish. My 2 different shades of orange didn't turn out. You don't really see the distinguish. So I decided I'm going to do yellow and orange. So I'm going to start out with yellow. Let's see. I mean, you know, she's experimental. She's got these she bought these cheap brushes, kind of like this from the Dollar Tree. All I have is this old stencil brush. So that's what I'm going to use. Use what you have. Don't go run to the Dollar Tree and buy something. Just use what you have. We're just going to make some color up and down these stems. I think I need some more yellow. Just to give it that whimsical look. At the end, you'll kind of, you know, you'll have the thing in your mind that those are flowers. Now, I'm going to dry this real quick, just very quickly. Okay, now I'm going to go over it with the orange. Why? Because I had a lot left over from the last project, so I want to incorporate that. What am I doing? No, I don't want to do it with this. Darn it, I just used up my orange. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're just going to put this on our painty paper here because I just dabbed my brush in it, and I wanted to use a small brush and make flowers with the next step. And I just messed that up. So, let me dry this. Nah, what the heck. It's not going to hurt nothing. It's my cowboy journal. More variety, the better, right? Okay, so the next part was orange. With a small brush. I'm just going to use it right out of the lid because I'm not going to use very much. Now, she just went through and just dabbed like where some little flowers would be. So that's what I'm doing. Very whimsical. Very fun. Kind of looks like a forsythia, doesn't it? Don't let yourself overthink it. Okay? I think we need another one over here. Okay, now I'm going to take this maroon and I'm going to take the end of my brush. Miss Moss didn't. She used the tip of her brush, but you know, you're going to do your own thing. And I'm going to make just a little center of each, not even all of them, just some of my flowers. Now you're going to probably come up with your own variety of how to do this. And it just keeps, what do you call it? Blooming. It just keeps changing, evolving. That's the wonderful thing about art, is we all take it and make it our own, and one thing evolves into, it's wonderful. It's so fun. Thank you, Helen, for sharing this, because I'm enjoying this. She said it's very meditative. It is. It really is. Okay, that's enough for me. And now we're going to put some greenery on there. She dried in between hers, you know. Drying is for sissies. So I'm going to just be a rebel and keep going. I'm just kidding, Moss. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm going to kind of turn mine because I'm a lefty and I don't want to lay my hand in that wet paint and eat the words of me just giving her a hard time. Now, she said you can just put one here and there, yonder. You can put two like a heart. You can put one on each side of your flower. You just go through and put these are going to be your little leaves. Just put them however you want. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to talk while I concentrate on my meditation, my greenery meditation. Isn't it fun? So I have to make these because if I see somebody do something just like those background pages that I saw earlier that I had to come in here and make one, I have to make them or I forget. And then a lot of times I'll make two and I'll put one in my little sample box. So even if I use one in a journal that I sell, I've still got a sample of it to look back on so I can make more later. And that's why a lot of times we need to look through our personal journals. Just sit and look through them, because you'll see things you did in there and go, oh, I want to try that again, you know, in another journal. And of course it's going to look different because you're going to use different paper and paints and everything else. But looky there. Isn't that cute, Miss Moss? It's so cute. Okay, you guys, look at that. Cute little flower bush. So, you know what I'm going to do, just for grins and giggles, because I think it needs it. I'm just going to put a little bit of grass at the bottom, just because I'm in the mood. Okay, and when that's dry, I might go over it with a lighter color and a darker color of green, just to make it, you know, different toned, or whatever the word is. So there you go, guys. We have played a little bit today. I feel better. I have felt guilty all weekend because I hadn't contacted you guys or talked to you or done a video. But I don't ever want videos to be pressure. So that's why I don't say I'll do a video every Tuesday and Thursday or whatever. Because life happens and I don't want there to be pressure. You know, we've had storms and trips and family and house cleaning and, you know, all that stuff go on. So I don't like to have the pressure. So, but I did want to stop in and say, hey, I miss you guys and I'm thinking of you. And thanks for hanging out with me. And Carrie, are you watching, Carrie? I wish you'd get Marco Polo so we can gab back and forth. Just a little PSA for Carrie. Have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye from Birdie. Quick little garden tour before my irises are gone. They're coming and going quickly. My fig tree, I need to cut these tall spindles off. I should just shush up and let you enjoy the beauty. I'll bring you back out when the next phase blooms. Bless their heart. We had 3 inches of rain in just a little over an hour last night, and everything is just kind of laying over. Have a great day. Oops, forgot my alliums.